Here's your weekend market review for Saturday, January 6, 2024. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your weekend market review for Saturday, January 6th, 2024. It's getting hard to say 2024, but yes, it is a new year. Hopefully you are doing well. Excellent week. If you followed the channel, we talked about the market being the most overbought conditions I have ever seen, and then the market giving up some of those gains, which shouldn't be surprising. But here's the thing. What do we expect moving forward? How to look at the markets, what to be aware of, what to be on red alert for. Because again, in my mind, I don't think the market has a ton of upside from here, and not saying that we can't bounce near term, but ultimately, I think there's bigger drawdowns to come in time, but keep in mind we are going into earnings. You have the CPI next week, inflation data. Again, other countries have been reporting theirs, and their inflation is picking up. Point being is ultimately, I think, with the unemployment numbers on Friday, it's going to be really, really hard for the feds to cut rates, raise rates, whatever. And I mean, again, you can look at it both ways. Because again, if you looked at the unemployment numbers, you look deeper, they're not good. But on the headline, they look good. And so here's the thing. Market is going to do what it's going to do. Feds are stuck. They have never ever in a million years handled they've never been able to make a soft landing occur. And I don't think they're going to here with the way that they've jacked up rates. So if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord room, a link in the description below. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out the educational trading videos. They're also on my website, thetradingagent.com. Back to basics. Please get your recommended reading. It's 3 books. Use the links. Get a little referral. I mean, I think I make a quarter or a nickel. I don't know. A nickel. Something silly. But again, either way, check out these books. Also, if you're in Schwab, you're in one of these brokerages that is suspect by any means, do not be surprised when they go out of business. And I don't want you to get stuck. And when I say stuck, I mean like your money had go into conservatorship and have to be transferred over. And if you're in a trade and you're not able to act, maybe the market dumps, maybe the market rallies, whatever it is, and you can't act because your money's being stuck, do not be surprised when the brokers absolutely torch your trading positions as they get transferred over. And also get your 5.5%. This is such a good deal. Please check it out. Also follow on Twitter. Always post in the trades. If you're not involved in the Discord room, at least you can follow and see what we're up to. So look at this, it's funny. Anyway, let's get into it. CME tool, we talked about, there's not going to be much action. This is the Fed Fund futures. There's nothing going on in January. March is where it's getting like hairy. Like we've seen 70s, we're seeing 60%. So just keep in mind, the expectations is a cut in March. That could change a million ways to Sunday going into it. Bitcoin. Let me refresh this, make sure it's high. I, like anything else, like I don't trust Bitcoin. I don't trust gold. I don't trust anything that has liquidity issues with the market if it gets the rug pulled, because they will throw the baby out with the bathwater. Now, I'm not saying long-term Bitcoin, gold, whatever asset, more like commodities. I trust commodities. I trust housing longer term, not necessarily the market, meaning like certain specific stocks, like your favorite name in the stock market could be trashed and then not ever come back. I think these names catch a bid when the Feds pivot. Oil, same kind of thing. We've talked about this. There's a huge short position. I don't think there's much downside in oil as a 2020 when you had negative futures pricing, but I am seeing, again, I'd be watching this floor of the 60s. And if it gets below the 60s, then we bust. Nat gas, same kind of thing. I don't see, and I've been saying this for what feels like weeks, shorting KOLD was a really good trade. I don't see much downside in natural gas. Now, is it going to break out, go crazy? Okay, we'll see. Same thing with oil. If they do, then the Feds are really stuck cheddar. So just keep an eye on this stuff. You don't have to trade everything. It's just, you got to know the market. You got to watch the market, right? You got to kind of see what's going on. All right. Dollar, we talked about if you ex-div, $1.74. If you add that to this, basically the 200-day, we bounced off the 200-day. If you put that back on, things hits the 100-day essentially, right? Do the math. Now what? Man, it's almost exactly hit the 100-day and back off. again, I'm not really trading the dollar, but I'm watching. Again, it's the best currency out of all of the crappy currencies in the world. The VIX, not surprised on a Friday, did a little beatdown, but we based breaking out over the 20-day. I think it's just a matter of time before we get bigger moves. Vixen, showing the same thing. Basing. Vivix, we talked about the Vivix leading all over the place. It's just, it seems like it's bottom, but near term, I mean, that candle on a Friday, I don't know. That's tough. SPY. We talked about doji days on Fridays. Go watch the videos on what to expect during jobs days. They're typically up and down, choppy. Notice where it's failed. We've got the highs. You've got the novice gap. You've got the chop top. You've got the volume up here. I just don't know if it's going to be an absolute bloodbath murder tomorrow, next week, into options expiration. I don't know. I do think the high is in, but doesn't necessarily mean you, like, again, one direction. Same thing with the Qs. Blow out, retest the highs, breaks over the channel long term. Chopping around. Keep an eye on it. IWM, we talked about everybody and their mom chasing the IWM. And then here goes breakout. Now near term again, back at some support levels. Keep an eye on it. I mean, fills a gap. Nothing goes down in one direction. Nothing goes up in one direction or every day. Not one direction. Why am I stuck on that? So just keep in mind, a trend is not, and this is, think about what, pretend this is the 10-minute or an hourly chart. You wouldn't have a problem with one or two candles up. You just know the trend is what, up or down. DIA chopping at the highs. Here you go. Gold, again, as a long-term gold bull. Again, crypto, I mean, I guess the right ones, bull, they're all stuck. They're all stuck up against references. But here's the problem is, again, they throw the baby out the bathwater. It's really hard to trust them when silver, the miners, things related are just lagging so hard. Lagging so hard. Something seems off. And if you study the past, the best time to buy gold, metals, miners, all that stuff, and really trust it without downside is when the feds go pivot, QE, pump, 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 pump. We're not there yet. They're still trying to pull liquidity and try to act like the economy's great. GDX, same thing. The miners just lagging real hard. GDXJ lagging real hard. Real hard. AG, check it out. Lagging. I mean, look at these names. And now we talked about like near term, bottoming, whatever you want to call it, due to rise. I just think these guys are going to be in a big chop zone. And AEM, same thing. Like, it's hard to trust them. Newmont, this should be up at 55, 60. Hits the 200-day, backs off. Now you got volume at the lows. I just don't know. Again, I think more of you will get stuck in this choppy sideways pattern. Pass, same thing. Chop, 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 fizz, fizz. What a relief it is. Tech, this is where, to me, this is where it gets interesting. Taiwan Semi is my short of the year. If China's coming after Taiwan Semi, Buffett unloaded for a reason. This is an absolute gift with stops. We talked about shorting this up on that gap down day after the new year. Xi basically said, Taiwan, red alert, we're coming for you. Now at this point, again, just because it's a green day doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go up. It's part of the trend. Like, I feel like the same thing. Micron, you have the top, you have the blow off top with volume. Oh, but it didn't turn right away. Okay, same thing. AMD, again, semis, I think they're toast, topped, blowout. I mean, how many times can you scream AIO, knowing that it's priced in? NVIDIA, kind of laughed about it on Friday. Like, people were like, oh, it's just about to break out. Okay, we'll see. It's been stuck. This is what it does. New money kind of flops in. People get excited. It becomes the stock of 2024. We talked about it's like, no, this is the stock of 2023, guys. Meaning talking to the brokerages that pumping this. Now they're saying it's the stock of 2024. It's like, where the hell have you guys been? Do you have no creativity? When is the stock? When does the stock have back-to-back years where it's literally the best performer? Zero. I don't remember one. Intel, same thing, kind of blow off with the Israel subsidy. SMH, look at this. I mean, it's topped. Pro gap. What do we say? It's typically off the highs. You might bounce back to the 20-day. You're going to, again, first dip gets bought. How much higher? Again, if it gets stuck here, that'll show you there's no strength. That means just people are trying to get out as fast as possible. It's taking a couple days. Remember, distribution is not a one-day event. It's not. Adobe, talked about it post earnings, gap down, watch the 20-day. Here's an example of what's saying, like, get below the 20-day, rallies back, and then turns over. So if you thought of the SMH, here's an example. Like, after you break below it, sometimes it rallies back and then fails. Lagging. Apple, this thing has been, this thing's pretty oversold technically. Hitting the 200-day, okay. I mean, here's the thing. It's oversold is relative, right? Yeah, the RSI is below 30 on the daily. Okay, that's why I don't pay attention to the RSI at times. I know it, but here's the thing. If China's like, hey, we're cutting Apple out, I mean, oversold or not, emotions are going to say, get me the fudge out. And this thing could get burned. This has been a great short. Congrats if you're in it. Loving it. Amazon. Fake breakout. Here you go. Big gap down. Tech showing you the way. It led up and now it's starting to lead down, right? CRM, been on fire, riding the channel high, burnt. Google. Oh, they're the future, right? Well, not the future, but they're great. You got to buy them. Fail breakout. Meta. Oh, Meta's the bomb. Back at way zoom out reference highs. But, every week, it seems like Zuckerberg's selling another $100, $200 million worth of shares. Last time he did that, the stock got burned. He knows something's going on. Microsoft, chopping at the highs. Can't really say good or bad about it. I mean, it looks stuck. NDAQ we talked about. At some point, this is an absolute easy short. Thought it was here. Then you got a retest. Again, we talked about retest. Fake breakout, kabow. MicroStrategy. This one's a toughie. Very tough. Because it looks like it's topping out. Michael Saylor did the right thing. I think Saylor, right? Yeah. Sold more shares. He'll probably buy more Bitcoin at it, but he's probably not going to buy more stock. So when Bitcoin comes down, then this comes down, right? That's probably what should happen. Netflix, this thing was a fake breakout. Roblox hit the range highs. Kapow. Comes down. We'll see. Again, could these all get bought near term? No one's saying they couldn't. Tesla, fake breakout. We said watch like this 265. I mean, literally one day. Tech leading down. Airbnb, we talked about this has been an amazing short since the upper 140s. Hits the 100-day. Not surprised. A little oversold. Looking to short that on Pops. Costco had good data on Friday, but look what the reaction was. Doji. Starbucks, a global growth name. Brutal. FedEx. See what happens here, right? I mean, everybody and their mom said this is the buying opportunity of a century, which was crazy. Rallies back, and then it's right back here, chopping at the lows. Caterpillar. Really wanted to see 302, didn't get it. It's the monthly trend line. I don't know. You don't need to zoom out, but just trust me on that. Fail. Nucor. I wish you would have gotten to 302 because I would have not failed. I would have been short on that all in, but didn't get it. That's what happens. Nucor. Retest some old highs. 20-day, keep an eye on it. A lot of people are asking about X. Again, I don't really have an opinion. I'm not going to short a takeout name because I imagine there's more than one buyer, but I don't know what the downside is. Like, what, 42, 43, maybe? I don't know. I think there's just better trades out. VALE, again, a lot of these global growth names, like they rallied and they're now coming into resistance. Same thing with Arrow. We'll see what happens. They got to get over it. CCJ, which had been the monster, uranium in general, starting to look weak, right? Leaders starting to lag. Laggards just trash. CF, this one has had some options activity. Interesting to see. I mean, again, I think all these names, ag names, are all potential buyout targets. CF, Mosaic, NTR. I like all of them. I just want them to get burned. And when I say burned, it's because not that I'm like think they're going to business, but just let them price in the worst case scenario. Let people just puke these names up. Let them give up, and then I'll give in. AA. Same thing. I mean, we talked about like these names have been throttled. Just let them throw the baby out with the bathwater. I like aluminum. I like ag stuff. I like copper. I like gold. I like materials. I love it. Just not yet. XLF, chopping, range. I mean, I'm impressed they held up. I mean, tried to break out again. Come back down. JP Most. I mean, look at this thing. I mean, I guess, oops. They're out of the woods, right? No. But look at this. Look at this wick. Another trap up here. Watch this. Going into earnings next week. Morgan Stanley, be careful. That's why I'm shorting through XLF, FAS, and FAS and FAZ versus individual names. Morgan Stanley, chop topping. Bank of America, chop topping. Looks like a breakout, but be careful, right? Like you've got some resistance up here. Again, this is what people don't understand is like you can have fake out breakouts and traps on daily time frames too. Like you can have multiple, like look at here, Micron, for example, right? If you zoom out, zoom. Fake break. Well, I get, yeah, see, he had, and again, here's an example out of ties. The reason why I'm pulling up because they're classic. Like, here you go. Oh, it's going. No. It looks like it. Really tries. So, we'll see what happens here. I don't know why I went just, they're like the king of fake breakouts. And so you see them sometimes with financials, like clearly. KRE, trash. We talked about the no doubt fail zone. Okay, well, it's not just failing yet, but that's okay. Just like up here, it kind of just murmured around, got to the 20 thing. Risk happens fast. If you like my sound effects, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. XBI, here's another one. Chopping, range highs. Again, I don't recommend necessarily shorting baby bios unless you have a reference here, which you do. It's just the individual names. Be careful. Solar, Dan, we talked about these things were absolute garbage. Just let them rally because the subsidies from the budget. There you go. There you go. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Again, drop a comment, like, subscribe. Not subscribe, not like leave a comment. I love when people leave comments. Even the trolls. First Solar, we talked about this one, loves to wick out and top out. Man, if this gets to 200-day, I'm going to be all over that. HYG. Here you go. Fake breakout. Again, why would anyone and their mom buy corporate debt? And when I say fake breakout, like, here you go. Here's the reference, right? Right here. Here's another one, a fake breakout. But here's like a multi-day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. Just oil, gas will end it there. Again, pickle for the feds. Again, we got to refill the SPR. We'll see. UNG, again, we talked about this is not the easiest play. Again, down at $4, whatever. The easy trade was what? Shorting the KOLD. Look at this. This is a nice. If you short it up here, so far, so good. Now, again, be careful if it could rally. Again, the more you're up, the less you own. Again, I like shorting this long term because I know it'll decay. So if you have shares, you have options, just trade around it. Manage the position. XOPs got stopped out of our drip. Made really good money. Made 20% plus. Thought this could go a little higher. Anyway, I was just like, you know what? Just stick to tech. Shorting tech. It's the easiest stuff. Occidental, we talked about it being stuck in the sideways chop zone. These are names, again. Let them play out the Buffett doesn't care zone, basically. ExxonMobil, holding the lows. This is hard. I mean, these trades are just dead money to me in the sense they're going to chop around. Look at this. MPC, like gas. Oh, it's going to break out. Look at that. Look at that candle. I mean, that says to you it's done. And meaning done like it's not going to break out. It's going to chop around and probably have lower prices, in my opinion. Gasoline demand picks up. Or gasoline demand destruction picks up what? In a recession. Well, there's no recession coming. Okay. Valero, same kind of thing. Chop and top in. If anything, again, I think they have more risk downside, but that's on you if you want to trade it. CVE, I know people are getting excited about this on Thursday. Again, I think it is a buyout target based on the size, but they're not going to make it easy. Like I said, you might just wake up and it's taking over, or it could go sloppy, choppy sideways, and then when that happens, you get paid out. EQT, same kind of thing. Chop, 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 chop. NFLX, LNG. Again, I like this name. They have 8% dividend. I think we're going to be a natural gas exporter in time. It's just big, choppy, sloppy. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out. If you have any questions about real estate and you don't reach out, I will take it personal that I wish I could have helped you. Because again, not that I know everything, but real estate is something that I have a tremendous amount of experience with. Same with the markets. And a lot of people get misled by agents who I think mean well. And your Uncle Bobby, your Uncle Tony, your Aunt Martha, they're all great agents. But again, talk to multiple people. Do not trust anyone with your biggest asset in real estate. Have a plan. Again, when the markets are volatile like this, selling your house, buying a house, they're intriguing processes. They're not cut and dry. So let me know how I can help. Use the Calendly link. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Peace. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.